Hey there, chatters. I'm Nat.
And I'm Kat, and welcome to the Crime Chat update, our third case update for season 5, where we revisit some of our previous cases and give you some of the latest deets.
Yes. Now, today I have 2 cases that we went over.
Yeah.
That I want to give you a little update. Actually, the first one is really exciting because it's based on our first episode number 1, which we went over 19 crimes.
Yeah.
And the real criminals behind the faces that you see on the labels of those beautiful bottles of red wine. I always got the red. But we've done this a couple of times. We also did Snoop and Martha.
Yeah, we did.
On their bottle. So we had a lot of fun with just this whole theme.
Yeah.
But our first episode was released on November 13th, 2021. You want to hear? I was listening to that recently. It's pretty good. It's we did a good job.
Talked about the living labels, which is the coolest thing.
Yeah. Now, quick reminder, in this episode, we covered people that were sent to Australia between 1787 and 1868 for crimes such as grand larceny, petty theft, and secret marriages, which you called clandestine marriages. Yep.
Yeah. Amongst
others. So the new 19 crimes, and there is a new saga of 19 crimes coming out, and we're going to have to cover it. We're definitely going to have to cover it because it's based more on history and less on like celebrity hype.
Okay.
So they're taking this pretty seriously. So 19 Crimes, as we know, is a wine brand that still teams up with modern day celebrities like Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart, as we covered before. But lately, they've leaned harder into the real rough history behind the people on their labels.
Okay.
Who, as we know, are real life criminals.
Right. Yep.
Now, here's the update for 2026. Number 1, the Catalpa Rescue gets the spotlight with their first slew of bottles that are coming out.
Okay.
Now, the brand is highlighting the Catalpa Rescue of 1876 as one of the boldest prison escapes ever.
Oh.
Just to give a background, because we're probably going to cover this story, but just to give a background, it was based on 6 Irish political prisoners that escaped from a prison in Western Australia. And basically, I don't want to get too far into it because I want to cover this. And they have 2 wines based on this prison break. The first one is going to be James Wilson. And his face is going to be brandished on a bottle of dark red wine.
Okay.
And then the next one is going to be John Boyle O'Reilly. And his face is going to be on the original red blend.
Okay.
And that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
But the next person on a label is going to be Jane Castings, featured on the hard charred wine. Her crime is receiving stolen goods. So that is coming out 24-25. So that one should have been out already. I haven't seen it, but you've seen it?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay. And the next one in January, this month, 2026, they are releasing a new bottle of wine called Liquid Death.
Oh.
And they're going to introduce a fake 20th crime, which is called Murdering Thirst. The label, instead of a real historical criminal, the bottle shows like a murder man, the Liquid Death mascot. So there's going to be one face for this whole line of Liquid Death wines that they're coming out. They're still going to use the pass bottle AR with the code. And so you still can use the app to get like their story, immerse yourself in the story. So
right. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. That sounds awesome.
Right?
And well, because I've collected the corks. Right. I have 18. I have 1 through 18. 19 is very elusive because at one point in time they had like a giveaway. If you found the 19th crime, you got like a cash prize or something like that.
Right.
And that was a couple years ago. So that one is very elusive.
Do we know who's on it?
Well, it's the cork.
Okay.
So whatever the crime is for the 19th crime, it's not necessarily who's on the bottle.
Oh.
Like they just randomize the corks.
Have you tried eBay?
No, I haven't.
Somebody may be selling it.
Well, that, and then I guess apparently I have to get a 20th cork now.
So yeah, this sounds really, I like that.
Yeah.
Our next update is an update that you reminded me about that I didn't realize was happening. And that was the episode where we went over the woman in a box.
Yeah, Chris actually told me about this.
Yes.
So I had to tell you.
Yes. So just to recap, The Woman in Box story is about a Cameron Hooker whose violent fantasies led to the 1977 abduction of 20-year-old Colleen Stan. She was held for 7 years in a coffin-like box and controlled through extreme psychological manipulation. The case unraveled in 1984 after Hooker's wife confessed, leading to his sentencing and exposing one of the clearest examples of captivity without chains. So the update, as of 2026, Carmen Hooker's legal status is still active. After being convicted in the 1980s for kidnapping, torture, rape, sexual assault, Hooker's sentence has technically been ongoing, but there's a separate legal process now underway to determine his future status. So Hooker is scheduled to face jury trial in San Mateo County to decide whether he should be classified as a sexual violent predator. The SVP, and we went over this in detail in the episode about the issue. I'll give you a little bit more insight as far as like where California went wrong and how they're not protecting women. So if a judge or a jury upholds the SVP designation, he'll be locked up in a mental health facility indefinitely, and parole becomes virtually impossible. If not, there's a slim legal path towards transfer that could lead to his eventual supervised release.
Okay.
Now, the trial is set for January 26th, which is in 2 days.
Yeah.
Interesting.
2 days as we record this.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. So, a little background. California Sexual Violent Predator, the SVP law, was meant to keep dangerous people locked up after their prison sentences ended to protect the public. But the law has major problems. Many offenders were kept confined for years without real treatment, and court reviews moved slowly or kept getting delayed, such as in his case. So if you remember, the reason why he was delayed so often was because of COVID. His case was delayed to a point where they were like, well, maybe we should just convene it. Maybe we should just move it, release him, whatever. He's a predator. Well, what? That's crazy.
Oh, we'll watch him.
Okay. We'll watch him. Yeah. So the judges were, and this is also the case where the judge said to her, I wish I could pile on the charges, but I can't. Right. So the judges were forced to take a look at this law and add more hearings and put in more legal steps to keep this monster behind bars or in an asylum. It doesn't matter. The issue that California has had in their system is that they focus more on the perpetrator and their rights instead of the victim and the woman's rights. Now, the SVP cases can drag on for years while the state has kept proving that the same danger exists over and over and over. They're not fixing the system. Yeah. What is going on? So during that time, offenders may get closer to release. So I guess everybody has a right to a speedy trial.
Sure. Yes.
And this is where California is failing the system because they are not. It's not speedy. Yeah. And a lot of times these people end up getting released. COVID had a lot of criminals released. Right. A lot. Or house arrest or moved out of the system. And these people are not back in there. And they're really not making the community safer. So...
yeah. This seems like a kind of a waste of taxes and resources.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The leadership is just a shit show. So basically the law protects rights on paper because they make it sound good. Right. But in reality, they're not protecting women in real life. So I am curious to see how it goes. I hope this SOB never gets out. Yeah. Period. So
the SVP will be determined it starts. So we may still not have a resolution by the time that this update comes out.
Probably not. No, probably not. Yeah. They need to change they need to change the system. Yeah. It's systemic. That's their issue. It's built in the system that they do not protect the victim. Period. It's rampant to a point where people, as a woman, you can get brutalized and somehow you're just not taken seriously. Yeah. You're just kind of a number. You're just a number. But anyway, so that's my case updates. That's all I got for you.
Well, my updates today are on a couple of Crime and Cosmetic segments, both from season 2. The first one is from episode 44, the Lime Crime Scandal. And that came out in January of 2023.
Yes.
This beauty company was tied to fraud threats, fake deaths, and security breaches. Since our episode, Lime Crime transitioned from a controversial full-range indie makeup brand into a specialized hair color-only brand owned by a private equity firm. In November of 2024, Lime Crime announced it was discontinuing its makeup line to focus on, quote, expanding our offering in the hair color and hair space, end quote, under the name of Unicorn Hair. I think we did talk about Unicorn Hair because it had come out during the episode. However, Lime Crime cleared out its remaining cosmetics inventory, including its famous Velveteens and Venus palettes, at a discounts of up to 85% off. The company is majority owned by a private equity firm called Tangram Capital Partners. They acquired it in 2018. Former CEO Doe Deer, remember her?
Yes.
She has not been involved in daily operations for several years. She sold her stake.
Good.
But following the Tangram acquisition, new leadership, including former executives from The Body Shop and L'Oreal, they attempted to rebrand the company as Affordable Luxury to distance itself from past scandals. Despite this attempt, the brand has struggled to recover its former cult status due to lasting distrust from past controversies regarding product safety, customer service, and security breaches. Now, here's the update. So while their own website and some retailers heavily discounted remaining makeup stock through 2025, it's gone now. But the brand still continues to operate, primarily pushing the hair care, the Unicorn Hair.
Okay. I have one question.
Yeah.
Did we find Gray?
I don't know.
That's all I want to know. What is going on with Gray? And if you want to know what I mean, you need to go listen to the episode.
Yeah. Episode 44. So basically, the biggest part of this is Lime Crime is no longer.
Yeah.
It's completely gone. It's now just a hair care only type of product, but they're still having a lot of difficulties because they are still tied. People know it. They're still tied to Lime Crime.
Honestly,
and all the scandal.
You know what? If I were them, I would lean into that.
Sure.
I would partner with like somebody like us, like a crime podcast, lean into the crime aspect. I think there's something there. Like, that would be my thing. Or like somebody like lean into somebody like Bailey Sarian. You know? I don't know.
I don't know if Bailey would want to be associated with that.
I know. Rebranding. You know,
Yeah. She just had not an update to any of our cases, but she just got a nail polish collab.
Oh, yeah? With who?
Yeah, I don't remember. But
Okay.
Well, okay, so the second one is episode 67. Maybe it's consumption. Maybe it's Maybelline. This came out in August 2023. In this episode, we talked about the 18th and 19th century's obsession with consumption and why people wanted to contract the illness to look more desirable, fashionable, beautiful. Modern medical approaches have moved away from this 19th century focus on isolation, as it is the leading global infectious disease killer. As we know, historically, the term consumption, it is now called tuberculosis. So it's recognized as this bacterial infection, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, aka TB. During this episode, we also talked about the impact and spread of TB today, especially in the criminal justice system. Global TB diagnoses reached a record high of 8.3 million in 2024, which was reported at the end of last year in late 2025. Malnutrition remains the largest driver of the epidemic globally. The new World Health Organization guidelines released in late 2025 mandate nutritional counseling and food assistance for TB-affected households. In the UK, there was a significant outbreak at an Amazon workshop in Coventry that led to its closure in January this year, 2026.
Okay.
Like, they had a huge outbreak of TB, and they are still trying to recover from that. And the health officials warned that England is at risk of losing its low incident status because of this outbreak. Cases in the U.S. reached a 12-year high in 2025, and as of January 2026, federal budget proposals include a $7 million decrease for funding for TB and HIV prevention programs, which raises concerns about future containment. And this is primarily due to the U.S.'s withdrawal from the World Health Organization that happened in January of this year. Meanwhile, in the U.S. prison systems, TB remains a high-risk environment due to overcrowding and the lingering effects of pandemic-era screening gaps, giving U.S. prisons a 10 times higher risk than general population. Based on 2024 and 2025 data, roughly 9% of people diagnosed with TB in the U.S. reported a history of incarceration, while 4% of those were incarcerated at the time of the diagnosis. Among those who were diagnosed while incarcerated, about 32% were in local jails, 20% were in state prisons, and about 14% were in federal prisons. An example, in Washington State's prison system, within the last year, health officials are still managing a fallout from what they called a large outbreak that potentially exposed more than 800 people who were formerly or currently incarcerated during that time frame. And then systems like the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, they've mandated TB screening for all staff and volunteers as of late 2025 to prevent spillover into the community, to basically kind of keep it contained within the actual facility. In January 2026, experts concluded that while medical breakthroughs in diagnostics and shorter treatment regimens are accelerating, systemic vulnerabilities, particularly within U.S. correctional facilities and the global funding structures, do remain the primary obstacles for eliminating tuberculosis. So that's an update for 2 Crime and Cosmetics episodes that we've done.
That's awesome. Yeah. I remember when I worked in New York, we had a system in order to work at one of these facilities. You had to be tested for TB. But people would pop up positive all the time, like patients and,
Well, in the military, we had to do it every year. When I was in England, one of my best friends was positive for TB while we were over there. It was, the little bubble test under the skin. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So this wraps up our 3rd update.
Yes.
Well, remember to follow us on all of our socials so you get the scoop on what's coming next.
Yes. And our next Season 5 episode is coming next Saturday, February 14th, and it is a Crime and Cosmetics segment.
Yay, you don't want to miss it.
And we'll see you at the Crime Chat.
Bye.